Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 loadouts in Call of Duty Season 6. So the first, I have AK-47 with the Grau suppressor for that effective damage range, the Spetsnaz PK barrel, Spetsnaz grip just so we can control that vertical and horizontal recoil control. The 45 round, once again, if you're going to do like trios, quads, iron trials, or plunder trios or quads, then go ahead and put that 60 round on. Don't use the 45 round speed mag or the 60 speed mag, just because they're going to penalize your aim down sight time, and this is already like a really, like, as in you've got this Grau suppressor which already penalizes it. Then I've chucked the actual arms 3 times across on there, and I put the precision reticle on it. Then we've got the MP5. I actually haven't used this until this season, and I found out it definitely felt a lot better than before. I don't know, I'm pretty sure I got a buff as well, so this is definitely going to be it's currently like better than the OTS in my opinion, but I use this anyway. So I've got the agency suppressor, so then we can get that effective damage range, because this one doesn't have heaps of range as when you have the set suppression on there. And then I don't put a barrel on, just because, as you can see, it's got that reticle, which is like half zoom reticle, which is half iron sight, but which is a lot easier than using, like, you know, like if you're using a full one. Then I got the bruiser grip. If you can't control the recoil, I used to never be able to, but I've learned the recoil pattern, and I used this season a fair bit. Last season when there was a huge nerf to it, but I used the bruiser grip, and for that, because if you really can't control it, use the field agent grip. I actually like use it a fair bit of the time, but I'll use a bruiser grip usually. And then we got the 50 round drum. If you're playing solos or duos, once again, go around, put that 40 round drum on, but just use that 50 round drum when you're playing, you know, as I said before, the iron trials, quads, all that. And then we got the target team spotlights for that. Well, we just need that movement speed, because look at the mobility increase fair bit, and the target team spotlight definitely helps out. And the flashlight to enemies, honestly, that isn't like a penalized really at all, because it doesn't really do anything, because you can aim it and it doesn't do it. Then we got the radar stock, mainly for the ADS and the sprint to fire time. I used to use the SAS combat stock when I didn't have this, but now that I've got this, is a lot better. I find that I can like sprint, I can just like shoot really quick. It's like a running gun kind of weapon. Then for our second loadout, we've got the Grau and the 410 Ironhide. This is definitely new and quite weird weapons, but in my previous video I said I like the where is it? I really like the, wait, did they get rid of it? I think I got rid of it for now, but I was the STG-43, I believe it was, which was a really good weapon, because they had like no recoil, and it was like 4 shots to the head. One of my favorites, personally. So with the Grau, then we've got the agency suppressor. So obviously this is a long range gun. It's not a short range or like an SMG shotgun. Nothing like that. We've got to use the long range to medium to long range guns. The 18.7 takedown, mainly for that effective damage range, because this doesn't have heaps of recoil. You can go ahead if you want and put the 19.8 Ranger, but I personally would use the this, just because then the bullet velocity doesn't really matter with ARs, because ARs, unless if it's like an AR with like no bullet velocity, then you have to obviously add an attachment that says bullet velocity. But this recoil is mainly horizontal, I would say. No, vertical, I would say. Yeah, horizontal, sorry. But I use the effective damage range, because once again, long range, not short range. Field agent grip, you might need this, depending. I personally do need it, because then the recoil is completely gone. Like, people sometimes might use like the bruiser grip or something else, but if you pair it up with an SMG, go ahead and put that field agent grip on. You got the 50 round drum. They don't have the 40. They only have 40 speed round. I personally would use 40 if they had a 40, but they don't. So other than the speed mag, but they don't. So I I like 50. This is probably even better. This is better like with the extended magazine because I just can't use very small magazines, but 40s I personally like that because it's not too small, not too big, not like a 30. I can't do anywhere below 30. Then we've got the actual arms 3x ghost. Obviously, go ahead and put that precision reticle on there. That's my grav class, and then I've got the 410 hide. This one I haven't personally unlocked, and it kind of looks ridiculous. But the agency choke, don't use until you got the agency choke. Use the sound suppressor, but this is going to be a lot better because this is like a long range. I found that this is one of the longest range shotguns because I used it once and I like one headshot, like literally. It's a super good gun. Sadly, they don't have the Dragon Breath rounds, but that's alright. If they did, that would be even better because then that would make it a one-shot gun. But then I've got this hammer 4 grid, and then for that fire rate, if you want, you could probably put on like this one. But I like the fire rate because it's extremely fast. It's like with the DMR when you put the fire rate on there, and it's a lot handy, and it doesn't take away any effective damage range. Then I've got the target team spotlight for that movement speed. This is a shotgun, so we are going to need that because shotguns don't have extremely fast mobility. Like SMGs, like Cali sticks, any melees really. Handguns even have quite good but this is decent. But you know, I couldn't find any other attachments that I would really need, so I just put on the target team spotlight. And then we got the 8-round tube, just because you don't want to, when you're reloading a shotgun, they take a fair bit of time. It's not like an AR when it's just you quickly pull out a magazine and then put one back in. This is a single, so you put shells in and you singly put shells in. So that's why I use the extended magazine. Then I go the no stock. I don't know. I might have to look at some YouTube to see which one's the best. They didn't have a rated stock, so I've just used that, and then that's my personal favorite 410 Ironhide shotgun. And then I've got the FAR 83. This is my personal favorite. I like this better than the AK-47, but people like use the AK-47. I've actually got them in 2 classes, I see, but I will use the crew suppressor, the 18.1 effective damage range. Sorry, for that effective damage range. The Spetsnaz grip. This doesn't have heaps of recoil. It's mainly vertical, so you could probably like. I would use the Spetsnaz speed grip if they had like a vertical, but they just don't. The 45. Once again, obviously, if you're using quads, trios, all that crap, then just go for 60 round. The actual arms with the precision reticle. Then I got Milano A21. I haven't actually seen this gun out a fair bit. Like I've seen it more coming out. But this is a long range one, so you know it's really good, and it's good for close range, medium range, and sometimes long range. Obviously, you're gonna have to use the agency if you're gonna want the long range. So then I've got the agency suppressor, because then once again, I literally just said it extends the range that you pull out, and then it also has that bullet velocity, sound suppression, and bullet velocity, which is bullet velocity you need if you're going to be using it for medium to long range. I'm using this as a stray speed class as well, so I'm using 10.6 task force. You know, with any Cold War gun, put this on, except for like the MP5 when it changes the reticle completely. Use the 10.6 task force. Then we got the bruiser grip. I used to use this. I didn't really know why I used to use it, because I looked at some YouTubers and they use it. I don't find that it really helps anymore, so I just put on the bruiser grip. Then I got the 55 round drum. Once again, you know what I was just saying, the type of game you're playing, then go ahead and put the 45 drum on. Rated stock for that, mainly sprint to fire time. I used to use I used to use the target scene spotlight, when I didn't have that. Very good choice. Until you got the rated stock, use the rated stock when you do have it. I don't, no, I actually guess I have this whole class now, so very good personal long range class for me. And then I've got the AK-47, the OTS-9. OTS-9 I haven't mentioned yet, but this gun is like amazing. Like you can't use it without a crew suppressor, just because. Sorry, you can't use it without a suppressor because it mainly needs that huge range. because this is a really good gun. It just doesn't have heaps of range, so it's like number 1, number 2 currently. MP5 I like better than the OTS9, possibly. Yeah, I think it's also better. But yeah. So I got the Grau suppressor for mainly that effective damage range. I've got Task Force for the once again effective damage range and strafe speed. Bruiser grip for that movement speed. If I could use the 40 speed normal drum, but I use a fast mag just because it does penalize some of the aim down sight speed, but then it reloads super quick. Like it's like using the MP5 with a sleight of hand. It does it super quick, like less than like a second. It's super good. I've got the target team spotlight. I think I might have already said this anyway, but this mobility increase. Like, look at this gun. It comes in with a fire rate as a mobility, which is insane. And then we've got the SF56A Max. Now, some of you definitely would be surprised. This is my ghost loadout, so I would use Diamantes and I wouldn't use a dual wielded. But with the SF56A Max, you know, old build, you know, the meta build we're used to. We got the 3 nerf, sadly. But this is definitely the best. Oh, and if you actually I forgot to mention this. If you have the T-pose reticle, I do grinded it out from having the cross dot all the way to the T-pose reticle. Super good. It's amazingly worth it. Like, just try it, and it's not even that hard if you use like the M13 or Kilo, which then it doesn't have like no recoil, especially the M13. You get 50 headshots using the Scout combat optic. Don't use this. Don't use the Scout combat optic if you already have the VLK, because the VLK is better. But if you're grinding it out, then definitely use that Scout combat optic. Then we've got the Diamantes for that, and I love the maple leaf. Like, it almost looks like the golden, which I currently haven't unlocked, but almost looks like the golden class. The golden camo, sorry, which is like, which is why I chucked it on, because I already had all the attachments anyway. So we got the agency suppressor. So then we got the effective damage range, and we got the sound vertical recoil control, just bullet velocity. Sorry, for vertical recoil, everything is like on the pros list right now is what like all you need, like really. But then you've got all this crap, and it's really good with it. Then you've got the strafe speed. Actually, no, you do need that. You need this strafe speed, and then it's also effective damage range. Diamantes is like one of the most like damage range. If you put it with my class, it's definitely the most like damage range output that you can get with the Diamantes. Then I use the target team spotlight for mainly the movement speed. Otherwise, if I didn't have the I would use dual wielded usually, but I've found that, you know, the range sucks now. They've nerfed it to the ground, just like the DMR. They've just nerfed it like hell. So that's why I just use the target team spotlight. And then I've also got the 30 round. Once again, if you're using this with the dual wielded, use the fast mag, because it doesn't have any ADS anyway. So just use that. Then you got a speed tape, just so that we can get back for the I personally would use this usually. But if you see how this is penalizing aim down sight time, so that comes in with this, so it kind of like puts it back a bit. You can use this, but I don't like penalizing the sprint to fire time. That's my ghost class. And then we've got the Vex Lord, which it's the XM4. This is definitely also one of the top 5, top 3 metas. Use that with the agency suppressor, 13.7 for that effective damage range. The field engine grip, this does need it because it has I don't know, it's not really recoil as in like actual recoil, it's just visual recoil, but it makes you like control the gun completely different. And then it's just a bit shaky anyway. Then I've got the 45 round drum. So once again, if you're using the more players on one team kind of genres, then just use the 60 rounds. And then we got the agency, the actual arms 3 times. I do use the precision reticle. I sometimes use the clean living, but you know, the LC10. I might be a surprise to some of you, but this is like an amazing gun. Like it's definitely been slept on a fair bit. Like I haven't used it like much, but I watched like a couple of streamers watch it, like a fair bit of people, and then I just love love the because it's like the Milano, but it's faster fire rate, but not quite as good as Milano, I think. But definitely, if you don't have the Milano, or if you haven't maxed it out and you can't be bothered to max it out, and you've got this, then definitely put on this. It's really good. Not worth. It is worth maxing out. Sorry, because then we've got the agency suppressor, 13.9 task force for that strafe speed. Bruiser grip for the speeding mobility increase, 55 round once again if you're using 45 round for the type of game mode you're playing, and then we got the target team spotlight for movement speeds and mobility increases. Then I got this is a really weird loadout. I put it on here anyway because I actually used this a couple days ago and it surprised me. Double SMG Milano with the actual arms 3 times. Personal preference, you can either use a microflex LED or this one, but I used to use the microflex LED when I was using long range to medium range, but now I just use the 3 times actual arms 3 times because I found that it actually is a fair bit better when I started using it. And then I've got the field engine grip. You do need this if you're using it for longer ranges. And then I've got the 55 round. Once again, what I said, game modes, use a 45 rounds. Then I got the MAC-10. I'm surprised I didn't. You might be surprised I haven't already mentioned it, but because this is an amazing gun. Like this is, like the amount of nerfs it's got. It's got like 5 I think now, or 6. No, 4 or 5 I think now. And now it's still amazing. Like obviously not as good as it used to be, but it is still like really good. So we've got the agency suppressor for mainly that effective damage and the bullet velocity, because this gun has like no recoil. I used to use the field engine, but this has got no recoil, so definitely chuck on the agency suppressor because it doesn't really need that effective damage that vertical recoil control because it has no recoil. Then we've got the 5.9 task force for that strafe speed. Now this is amazing strafe speed because it has the cons as NFPs and lasers, they're vertical and horizontal, but once again, no recoil at all. If you struggle, then you can use a field engine grip, but that's for like players that are completely new, might need to use that. Yeah, so then I use the 53 round drum. Once again, I wouldn't use this. If you're using solo, or even solo, I might use this, not duo, so because the fire rate is ridiculous. So I would use this for 53 round drum in any game mode except for maybe solos. Then we got the Raider stock for because I can't do without, like I can't do it without it because it looks really weird to me. Like if you look at it, if you like preview it quickly, you're aiming through that. That does not look good at all when you're shooting someone. I just cannot, especially if they're moving like hell, you cannot. But then with this, it not only does give you all these pros, but then look how much better it is to look through it. It's a small little gap through the middle, and it's just 2 small little gaps through the middle, and you can just spray it at them. Then we got the Car 98, my personal favorite, the Swiss, which is once again really good, but I like the Car 98K because not only is it Modern Warfare, and I love the Modern Warfare ones, but it's actually got aim assist on this, really good. The rotational aim assist, especially if you can quickly snap onto enemies. And then we got this one. We got this is like the old class. Just do this. I'm sure most of you already heard this. But then we got the Stovall Precision Comb and the F-Tac Sport Comb. But I like the Sport Comb just because it's an ADS weapon. It's not I personally think it's an ADS weapon because it's super fast. If you're using Max, then you get rid of this. If you're using and then you would have unsuppressed the Car 98, and then you might add like the ADS here. And then we got the PPSH, really good. Like this shreds like now. Like I'm using it a fair bit, and it's just like it skates through Rebirth, especially I find where it's like really good. But then for this one we got the Grau suppressor. You can chuck on the sound suppression if you're not using this for a longer. But I personally like the Grau suppressor better. Then we got the 15.7 task force for that strafe speed and bullet velocity, effective damage range. Because this is a completely long range class. Like this gun is like really good. Then we got the bruiser grip. It's really good for the long range. And then we got the bruiser grip for the movement speed and mobility increase. 55 round. I personally use 71 round, but this is more for if you're playing like by yourself or without other players, like other squad mates, teammates. Then otherwise, then you can chuck on that 71 round drum to, because it is ridiculous when you put the 71 round on. Just put this on whenever you're playing rebirth quads and trios, and not duos, I wouldn't say. Quads, trios, any game modes that require to those, definitely put on this, because this shreds. Not only does it shred, but the mag, actually, you don't have to reload once, and you still have like spare mags over. You've got like a spare rounds over, so you've got like 20, sometimes you got like 10 or 20 like rounds left. So really good. If you can't land your shots, use the 71 round drum. That's my 8th loadout. Really good, like really good combo together. Then we got the MG82. Like, this is amazing TTK. Like, honestly, it shreds TTK. Like, you can literally like 5 bullets to the head and they're knocked. They're down, and it's a super fast fire rate. So I use the agency suppressor because obviously LMG is a longer range, not like an shotgun. And then we got the task force for the effective, once again, the effective damage range. Then we got the bullet velocity, vertical recoil control. You definitely need the vertical and horizontal recoil control. This, you like have to have it. If you don't have it, then your gun's gonna be all over the place. You're gonna shoot like 3 bullets, and all you know it's gonna be up in the sky. So then we got the field agent grip, because once again you need that recoil control. 150 round drum. I only use this because this is a really good gun and it reloads fast. I just use this because with LMGs you don't want to be reloading just because it takes a fair bit longer than other guns. It takes a lot longer than, say, like a AR SMG. It takes a lot longer than that. And then we got the actual arms 3 times with, once again, precision reticle. OTS 9, definitely this can be used in heaps of situations. We can put the MP5 here as well, but honestly, I'm just gonna I put this here because I haven't used this in like many times, and I found that is really good. So Grau suppressor, this is the same class as what we had before. And then for the final one, I use the MP5 and the Swiss K31. This isn't the best one. This is just my last loadout. I use that with the target team spotlight, the agency suppressor, bruiser grip, 50 round. This is just an old one. Once again, Raider stock. I haven't used the Raider stock until I unlocked it, and once again, like I said previously, really good for the sprint to fire time. And then we got the Swiss. This is really good because with the aim assist, it doesn't have like what it would do with the Kar 98, which is why I use the Kar 98 over Swiss K31. This has got amazing bullet velocity though. So if you look at this. So if you use a Grau suppressor for that longer range. Personally, if you're gonna use this like the Kar 98 and you want a quicker, more accurate and quicker, like just more ADS basically, you're going to use the sound moderator. But I personally use the Grau suppressor because then the effective damage range gets buffed. But then I've got the combat recon for the bullet velocity. Once again, this gun, even without the bullet velocity, it's like the Kar 98, which has got decent bullet velocity, but not as good as definitely not as good as the Swiss. Then I've got the bruiser grip. I don't know what else to put on here. I don't use a speed. I don't use a magazine. I used to, but now I don't, just because ADS speed gets completely down. So I use a bruiser grip, and sometimes I might use like the patrol bipod. But I just use the bruiser grip now, just because I unlocked it, and it's a lot better, I find. Then I use a steady aim laser, because once again, it's got to be like a Kar 98. It's got to have fast ADS, sprint to fire time, speed tape for the ADS. Once again, so this is going to be like a super fast ADS build. If you're gonna actually make it even faster, you can put the sound moderator on. That's like the Kar 98 with like the sport comb. And then we got the Pit Viper, the MP5 with this, once again, old loadout. Super good, both these, and then I use the C4 and the heartbeat sensor. Thank you guys for watching. This is the best loadouts you can get so far in the new season. Amazing. You can't go wrong with it. So it's super good. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. definitely a different video. My upload schedule is definitely getting a lot better. I've more tried to get the upload schedule out. Check me out on Twitch. I'm Ebony full capitals, and I do fire content, really good content. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Best loadout I'm gonna say is gonna be the #1. Yep. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys so much, and then I go see you guys in the next video. See ya.